How's it going, everybody? This is Blind Eye. Today, we're going to be talking about the Poikilo PM3, and I want to share my thoughts about it. So, I recently got this balisong, I want to say about 2 weeks ago, and I've been flipping it, I'd say pretty regularly, and I got it at retail for, I believe it's $475, $480, somewhere around there. And this is the third balisong in their lineup. This is the PM3. They also have the PM1 and the PM2, or the Obsidian, I believe it's called. That one definitely looks pretty good as well. But this is the one that I wanted to try because it was the only one I could find that they had in stock and purple. So this is what it looks like. Very pretty knife. I've somehow managed to actually keep the tip on this one, but I've only flipped it over my foam padding and carpet, so good reason for that. Biggest thing about this knife, the reason I got it is because it was beautiful and I wanted to expand my my horizon as far as balisongs that I've collected. And this one specifically caught my attention because I absolutely love the way the blade looks. And then there's also the penless design with this little chameleon, which is their company logo, I guess. Very pretty. I can honestly say I really like this knife, but the reason I'm making this review is because, one, I don't think anybody else is talking about it, which is a good thing, because for most of the community's sake, I'm putting this out there so that I can kind of clear the air, like a before you buy kind of thing, if you will. The thing about this knife that the second I opened it up and I started flipping it that I had realized was the balance. It's just not there. It's still extremely handle heavy, and you just, like, when it comes to doing fans or anything that would require that that good balance, you don't really get it. But they do say that they kept the flippers in mind as far as balance is concerned for this knife specifically, and they did say that, and I think they meant it, because they added a modular weight system into the end of the handles, right? So stock, right out of the box, it came with the tungsten weights installed, which I have right here. So this is what they look like. Straight out of the box, they were installed, and it was extremely, like, if I could compare it, I would have to say it reminded me of the Max Ace Phantom 2, which, I mean, if you look, this thing is just God. It's a beefy blade, and these handles, I mean, like, it still wants to tip over to the other side. Like, the handles are just so chunky. They don't balance with the blade, and, well, for anybody that owns this knife under the presumption that it was going to be good, well, I'm sorry. I'm a fool as well. I bought it thinking that, oh, you know, this looks like a really nice flipper, and I heard the ring, and I was like, oh my God, you know, this would be awesome to have in my collection. It is, and I'm happy I own it. It kind of sets the standard for me for what I don't like. So it's kind of not a good thing and a good thing at the same time, right? But yeah, moving on, right? So I got it, flipped it with the weights in for, I'd say, a few days consistently, and just, I couldn't get over the feeling that I was flipping the Max Ace Phantom 2. Now, obviously, the handles aren't nearly as beefy. Like, there's some chamfering right here, like there's some milling in the handles, so it definitely feels smaller, which I appreciate. Overall, it's lighter. I think it comes in at like 4.4 ounces. I might be wrong. You can fact check me on that. I'm definitely wrong, as a matter of fact, because I didn't look. But overall, it's really light, and I'm thankful for that, because it kind of takes the balance thing out of the way, right? So I eventually got the zippy mods in for it, which, here, I'll pull it out so you can like kind of see it, right? I know there's another guy on YouTube that's got this on his channel too, so he'll tell you how to install those. I'm not gonna go out of my way to do that here, but this is what they look like, right? So they've got these little holes right here that you just drop little ball bearings in. I believe it can fit 2. I only ever put the 1 in it, right? But they just kind of like slide on like so, and then you like push it down on there kind of thing, right? But I didn't like them, one, because it didn't help the weight issue that I was having with it, and additionally it eliminated the ringing, which for me is kind of a deal breaker, right? Like, I mean, obviously I do have a Zyzix, and the main reason I bought one wasn't the pure artwork or the hype, you know, because it was not cheap. Obviously, it's the ring, right? Yeah, and I absolutely love flipping this thing. It's awesome. I got the Judas though. I wanted the Abyss, the Incept, or the Lazarus, but at the time, this is all they had, and I was like, fuck it. I'm going to get one while I can, because they're pretty hard to come by. I mean, you know, anything that's like a part of drop culture, it's like, if you don't get it now, you're probably never going to get it again, right? Similar to like Fellowship Blades when they were really big, which is why I don't have an Impusa, unfortunately, right? But going back to the PM3, right? This is... as much as I can say I still enjoy flipping it, it's not going to be my first thing that I take out of the case for a video, for some live blade flipping, right? Like, it's just not going to be the first thing. And that's mainly due to the balance. It's still really fun to flip. Like, I find myself looking at it in the case and, you know, I pick it up and bust out a couple of my tricks and, you know, like some chaplains. It does feel really comfortable to chaplain, regardless of this little butt right here, right? Because it's pinless, but it does feel, goodness, it does feel really good to chaplain. Well, I guess without the handle weights at the very end, it does get a little more difficult to hold onto the chaplains. Like, I can definitely feel it slipping. But overall, I'm not a single bit mad that I purchased it, regardless of how much I don't enjoy flipping it, because it's beautiful, and I really like the way it looks. Because at the end of the day, I mean, it's my collection, yes. There are things in my collection that I won't pick up, and I say that I don't enjoy because I don't flip them. But that doesn't go for everything, right? Like, this is something that I pick up, I'll flip it. Am I going to enjoy it? Not necessarily. But it's definitely one of those things where, like, if I'm out in public and, you know, I've got my trainer on me, like my squid trainer or my Nautilus, you know, which are also both purple, you know, and somebody's like, oh my God, you know, is that a butterfly knife? Because they never call it a battle song, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, you know, and they're like, oh, it's not real. And I'm like, no, this is the real one, you know, and like, this would be one of those pretty knives that I would keep on me, not for flipping's sake, but like utility, right? But pretty terrified to lose this edge because it's really pretty. I would hate to get like duct tape residue or anything on it, right? Which is why I say it's probably going to just stay in my case. Would I consider it a grail? I mean, subjectively, no, I would not. At the end of the day, this is just another grade 5 titanium S35 VN. Well, I don't think this is S35 VN, but I mean, it's just your typical channel titanium ballast song, right? The speed channels are nice. The jimping is mid. It only goes down this far, and it's not like, it's nothing crazy, right? Like, it's not like Orca crazy, right? Where it's like fucking way out here, anything like that. So, I mean, pretty simple, pretty basic. If I could compare it to something like flipping wise, like I said, I'd have to say like the Max Ace Phantom 2, if you could deduct some of the weight and balance it better. That would be where I would put this. It also kind of reminds me of a Kraken or a Kraken or a Crackeracken, however you say it. Kind of reminds me of the Squid Industries Kraken in a way that it's slightly handle biased, right? But that's without the weights. And that's also to keep in mind that it's still really heavy on the handles, regardless of the weight being out or not, right? And it's weird because picking it up and flipping it without the weights in it, you wouldn't think that it's going to feel that way until you start, you know, doing some fans, maybe some rollovers, and you really feel that it's like that balance just isn't there, you know? But as far as the other Poikilo Blades balisongs that are in their lineup are concerned, I haven't flipped any of them, so I can't really say much to that regard. So if somebody has, you know, flipped the Obsidian or the PM1, or I think they just came out with like a PM4, it's like I don't even know what it's called. But I saw the Instagram post, and I know they're making another one. That one looks really pretty, but I haven't flipped any of the other ones. So to make a comparison as far as the other ones are concerned, to kind of see where their progress is made, I can't speak on that, truthfully. So was it bad in the past? Maybe. Has it gotten better? Probably. That's typically how I would think balisong corporations go, right? You know how you get the gist, right? But overall, it's going to stay in my collection. I don't plan on getting rid of it or selling it off because it's pretty. That's really what it boils down to. It's pretty. I got it because it was pretty. Yes, did I have some hopes to flipping it and enjoy the flipping aspect of it? Absolutely. And although it doesn't meet my expectations in a flipper's perspective, it definitely meets my needs as far as a collector's perspective goes, right? I wouldn't consider myself more of a collector. I'm more of a flipper, but at the same time, I like having a lot of nice things. I like having a lot of nice balisongs. So in hindsight, I'm kind of like 50-50 on the flipper and collector side, right? I mean, obviously I have his Isaacs. It doesn't even come out of the fucking case. It just kind of sits there. But I love that thing. And when I first bought it, don't get me wrong, I couldn't put it down. But it's so nice. I don't want to ruin the value or diminish it. And that's like the most expensive knife that I own. I do have some other grails that I really enjoy flipping, like my Chab. It's got some wear to it too. I mean, along the edge. I didn't dull it or anything, but I think at one point I used it to cut open some cardboard boxes. So I do have grails that I like to flip, even though this thing it's chunky, right? I absolutely love my Chab. So I'll pick that up and flip it any day of the week. But I also only spent $500 as opposed to $1,200. And in my opinion, that's like, you have corporate balisong and you have like art balisong, right? I would consider this kind of in between. The Chab is like, I mean, it's BRS, right? Like it's, in my opinion, corporate. And then Acid Works, the Zyzix, product of JK Design, but Paul, the maker of Acid Works and the maker of Zyzix, right? Like that's his own thing. Like he came up with that design. He came up with how he wanted it. JK, Julian Klein, he made it, right? So that's art, which obviously he's going to upcharge the fuck out of it because Paul has to make a profit. JK has to make a profit out of it. So on top of that, it's beautiful. Like, was it worth paying that much? Absolutely. Was it worth paying this much? In my opinion, as I reiterate, yes. That's really my take on it. If you do get one and you decide to leave the weights in, please tell me like what I'm missing. Because as far as I'm concerned, the only people that make the aftermarket weights is Zippy, and it's just those plastic inserts. I didn't leave them in because although it would protect the end of the handles, it eliminates the ringing. But if somebody has like an affiliate link or something that they could shoot my way where I can fix the weight problem, that'd be great, because I would love to flip this thing. It's just, I don't know, man. The weight, it just kind of does it for me. But at the end of the day, I'm really not mad about buying it. It's very pretty. So yeah, with that said, I'm Blind Eye. If you like the content, make sure you subscribe. If you don't bother. I love doing this either way. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace. Peace.